What's up everybody, it's Casey here. I just want to do a quick video of my new Razer Blade 15 Mercury White Edition. I received this laptop on Thursday. It is now Sunday, December 16th. So I've seen quite a few videos on the Razer Blade, and I've heard a lot about Razer as far as tech support goes, lack of communication, poor products, etc., etc. So I just wanted to give you my firsthand experience of my experience with Razer so far. Despite not having the laptop very long, I want to give you my first impressions. So right off the bat, ordering the laptop itself proved to be quite a hassle. Apparently Razer has a fraud policy in place where unless you have like one specific type of card, then they're going to decline the order right off the bat, and you have to go through this ridiculous review process for them to actually approve it and place your order successfully. So it took about a day and a half to actually order the laptop, but once the laptop was actually ordered, I think they actually overnighted the laptop because it came in about a day and a half, 2 days or so, all the way from Hong Kong to the US. So props to them. I did choose the expedited shipping option, but that was only an additional $10. So if that was the reason it came so quick, that was definitely worth it. So I don't know if I said this already or not, but it did come a day early than the anticipated or estimated delivery date. So that was pretty awesome. It was a really nice surprise. And once I received the laptop, I really couldn't have been happier with how it was packaged. So the laptop came in this box, and there was a box outside of this one which had additional packaging, and it also had my additional power adapter in it that I ordered. So no complaints about the packaging whatsoever there. It's very well padded. And then inside this big black box here, we have the smaller black box, which is the box the laptop was actually in. And I think it's pretty cool because if you set it down on a table, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it kind of looks like it has a green underglow to it, which is pretty cool because the bottom of that box is fluorescent green, and you can see the Razer logo on the back of the box there. And then on top of this box right here, when it was inside of this box, was the power adapter box, which has "Welcome to the Cult of Razer" written across the top. Not too big of a fan of that slogan or whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's a cult by any means, but whatever. So inside of that box we had the power adapter, obviously, and it has a really nice braided power cable. It's very high quality. It's pretty heavy, but it doesn't feel cheap whatsoever, and the connector fits very snugly and very securely inside the laptop when you have it connected. So I'm really happy with how the actual connection between the power supply and the laptop work. I thought it was going to be a little harder to get in and out, but it just has a really nice fit to it. So I'm really happy with the power adapter. Like I said, this is my additional power adapter because I've got two of them, so that's why it's still in the packaging here. But the laptop itself is pretty great. So far, I haven't done any gaming on it or anything like that. I've done some light video editing, and it's performed very, very well. As you can see, the boot up time is incredibly short, so it is a very fast laptop overall. So along with being super impressed with the overall speed and responsiveness of the laptop, the build quality is impeccable. And that's actually the reason that I decided to go with the Razer Blade. I'm not a big tech reviewer guy, so I haven't had a chance to get my hands on a bunch of comparable laptops like the MSI or Asus or Gigabyte Aero 15X, for example. But I did go to Best Buy and I did check the Razer Blade 15 out there. They had the black one, and I was just really, really impressed with the overall build quality. And when I was at Best Buy, I got to check out the MSI and Asus models, that are pretty much direct competitors to this guy. and they just felt flimsy. They didn't look nearly as good, and the trackpads definitely weren't as nice. So, and when I found that Razer Blade was coming out with the Mercury White edition of this laptop, it was a sure thing for me that I was going to go with this guy. I just think it looks amazing. Some people call it the MacBook Pro or MacBook of the PC world, and I would have to agree. It's definitely up to that quality standard. I've had MacBook Pros in the past, and it does not disappoint whatsoever. Another big selling point for me was the fact that the webcam is at the top of the bezel and not the bottom. I didn't like that about the Aero 15X or some of the other models. That was a turnoff for me as well for the XPS 9570. But yeah, this laptop has been great so far. No issues really to speak of, other than I think the Synapse software that controls the lighting on the keyboard is a little finicky. As you can see right now, it takes a minute for the keyboard to actually light up once it goes off, and that's a setting that you have to configure yourself, where else the lights on the keyboard just stay on all the time, and sometimes they don't come back on, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. And sometimes, like, even if you press the lighting keys on the keyboard to brighten or dim the keyboard, it doesn't come back on. So you kind of have to turn on that Synapse software manually. That's that green icon right down there. And you have to kind of make it remember, like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this. So that's one of my complaints. I also don't like the placement of the right shift key. It's a little far out there, so I keep hitting the up arrow on the keyboard and messing myself up typing, but I'm sure I'll get used to that. I'm really happy with the trackpad. It's nice and large, and it has a really nice feel to it. That's just something you'll have to see for yourself in person. The speakers are really nice. They've got a good deep bass to them compared to a regular basic laptop, I would say. Obviously, they're still laptop speakers, so you can't expect too much out of them, but there's quite a noticeable difference in the speaker quality compared to, for example, my old HP Probook behind the Razer right here. Speaking of comparing the Razer Blade to a basic, I would call it, not top of the line, not tier 1 laptop. Right off the bat, you can see the difference in these laptops. The Probook on the right is a 15.6-inch laptop, but because of the bigger bezels, you can tell that the overall size of the laptop itself is just much bigger than the Razer Blade, which is also a 15.6-inch display. Some other notable things is you can see right off the bat also that the keyboard lighting is completely better on the Razer Blade compared to the Probook, because this doesn't have per key RGB lighting. This has per key lighting, so each individual key is lit. So that's something to take note of. The trackpad does not feel nearly as nice. Everything is plastic here. You just really can't you really can't beat an all metal aluminum design for build quality standpoint. And just to reiterate that size difference, you can see that the Razer Blade actually fits inside inside the Probook with about a ½ to an inch to spare around the screen and around the base. So that's something to take note of. If you're looking for a comparison, I haven't really seen a comparison between a normal size laptop and the Razer Blade, so that's something to take note of as well. Something else I want to comment on is the battery life on the Razer is, I would say, as expected or as advertised. I can easily get about 6 to 6.5 hours out of the battery using it regularly. I'm not talking about gaming or video editing or anything crazy like that. I'm just talking about web browsing, doing Word or Excel document type stuff. You can easily get 6 to 6.5 hours out of it, and that is what Razer advertises, so no complaints there as far as battery life goes. Just to show you the bottom of the laptop, The quality still continues down here. They did not spare any details. As you can see, the nice metal honeycomb vents on the bottom where your fans are located inside the laptop. And you can see your cooling on the back here. Very detailed, very high quality machine work here. So something else to take note of. Very nice overall looking laptop, even on the bottom. Not to jump around, but just to give you a comparison of the audio quality compared from the Razer to the Probook. And I'm completely aware that this is like comparing apples to oranges, given that the Probook is like half the price of the Razer. But just so you can hear the difference between one laptop and another, let's go ahead and start. Go and give it to you on the Razer. And both laptops are currently at full volume, same YouTube video, in the same spot. So let's give it a listen.
X gon' give it to ya. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to ya. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. Let the non-stop pop out from stainless steel. Go hard getting busy with it. But I got such a good heart that I make the mother one day if you get.
So that's the Razer. Let's go ahead and hear the HP now.
X gon' give it to ya. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to ya. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. Let the non-stop pop out from stainless steel. Go hard getting busy with it. But I got such a good heart that I make the mother one day if you get.
So the HP might be a little louder, but the clarity is definitely not there. The bass is definitely not there. So that's something else, just to give you all another comparison. Any issues that I run into, or anything else that I feel like is something you all should be aware of. One last thing. The Razer Blade 15 is currently $200 off in the Razer store. So if you're looking to buy one right now, now is a good time. I got this guy for $2,000, which is why I was able to pick up the spare power adapter. It was only $129. So, you know, for the price of a regular Razer Blade 15, I got the Razer Blade 15 and a spare power adapter. This laptop does have the 1060 in it, not the 1070. It also has the 512 SSD, 16 gigs of RAM, and the Core i7 8750H. They do have the 1070 version of this laptop in the Mercury White. Do not let them tell you otherwise. However, at this very moment, the 1070 version is $2,400, and if you want the Mercury White, it is an additional $200. Not sure why there's a price difference between the Mercury White with the 1070 and the black. When you order the 1060 version of this laptop, there is no price difference between the black and the Mercury White. Razer doesn't have an answer for that right now, but that's just the way it is. So if you're looking to pick one of these up, I highly recommend it. You will not be disappointed, at least based on my experience so far. You will not be disappointed. It is a great purchase, and I highly recommend it. So thank you all for watching. If you have any additional questions, comments, or anything like that, I'm happy to answer them the best that I can. So thank you again for checking out my video, and enjoy the rest of your day.